As we come to our last Sedra, the closing of Bereshis, there's such a deep, beautiful message that we can share. And I also want to share with you that anything that we have shared until now, I ask of you not to leave them as words hanging. Find in your life where you can have time to think about them and then present these words in your mind, in your emotions, and then live with them to live your true, authentic self, your more real self. That's really the goal here. So in Pirkei Avos, in the first chapter, third Mishnah, we have this beautiful Pirkei Avos, this beautiful Mishnah that tells us as following. In the name of Antigonus, the leader of Socho, he received a tradition from Shimon HaTzadik. Hu haya omer, he would say, El tiyu ka'avadim hamishmashim es harav al manas lekabel pras. Don't be a servant who's serving their master for the sake of a reward. Instead, however, be like a servant who serves their master not for the sake of a reward, that they shouldn't be receiving a reward. And then the Mishnah ends, Vehi meire shamayim aleichem, have the fear of heaven upon you. Maybe we can suggest the following, that in life, when we're living, having our human experience, there's a trap that we can fall into, that I do something and there's an unconscious expectation and assumption to receive something from that which I have given of myself. So for example, one can say it's only normal to receive a thank you after you've done something, or, to be appreciated when you've done something. This is an expectation, an assumption that I think is pretty normal. We're being asked something here, and that is to live with deliberate free choice to express ourselves that we may not get a reward. I'm presenting myself, I'm choosing to do something because it's the right thing to do. It's good to do. This is my ability to present myself. And more than that, I'm actually on the outlook to present myself. I'm on the lookout, to present myself, to be able to do something, to help. I choose it. Let's give an analogy. When a person helps somebody and they don't get that thank you, and they could present themselves and help themselves in a number of different ways and they're not noticed, resentment can start to build up. So I remember one of my mentors said to me that, you know why that resentment is building up? Because you didn't do that particular thing for the sake of that thing. You did it for the sake of the reward. Oh, it's very normal to get the thank you. Oh, it's very normal to be noticed. However, the way we should function from a higher state of consciousness is to say to myself, wow, look at this. I have an opportunity to give of myself, to contribute. And I'm thankful for that opportunity to contribute. I'm not doing it to receive anything. The fact that I can contribute and the fact that I can thank for having the ability to contribute is the most beautiful and powerful thing in the world. And as we've said before, the equation to live a fulfilled life is to live a life of contribution and to live a life of gratitude. That I can thank for the opportunities I can contribute. And I'm not looking for the thank yous of other people. So if somebody does say thank you, as really they should, or if somebody does notice me, I can enjoy those feelings so deeply. And I didn't do it for that though. And when a person lives like that, life is lived very differently. When a person's switched on, when a person's turned on, so the life that they live is so powerful. And how do we do that? By remembering everything is a gift from the Rabbeinu Shalom. Everything is a gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If we go back to Parshas Vayigash, when the whole narrative that took place now started, Vayeshev Yaakov ba'aretz migurei aviv ba'aretz Canaan. Yaakov stopped serving in regards of this higher dimension of service. He lessened his consciousness, as we mentioned, and the Mefarshim say that he lost his Ruach HaKodesh for a certain amount of time. He lost himself on a certain respect. He downed his levels of consciousness. And on a certain level, he had an expectation, an assumption that now I can settle down. I've done all this hard work. I can deserve now to settle down. And unfortunately, he missed certain, I would say, accent points he should have noticed. But for whatever reason, it's a gift from God. That's the story that happened. Now what happens? Vayechi Yaakov comes down to Mitzrayim, and his family is brought together. Vayechi Yaakov, and he lives. And it says Vayechi Yaakov, 17 years. He lives 17 years, and those 17 years are years of good. They're years of good. 17 is gematria good, Tov. And then as it goes on to say that he lived 147 years. He lived 147 years. And his family are brought around him. And just as we're told when he lost his family, when there was a breakdown in Parshat Vayechi, so too here some of the commentaries explain his family was brought together. And in that time of Simcha, he says, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, and his sons respond back to him, Baruch Shem, Kavod Malchusay Leolam Va'ed. What happens is that he now awakened, he now, Vayechi, his Ruach HaKodesh came back, he realized that the Vayeshev was not correct, and the Vayechi is where I should be. So I served God and I had an expectation. Now I've switched on again, that I'm in a process of service. And I'm not expecting a reward. I'm service because I am the reward. Every opportunity that presents itself for me to connect to is a reward. How do I remember that? Because God is above me. God is giving me these opportunities. And as soon as Yaakov awoke from his sleep, he injected life into all the years where he lost a little bit of life. He injected life into that, and everybody was brought together. Everyone was brought together, and he had Hakaras Hatov. So he came back to the equation of being a deep contributor, having the opportunity to present himself to the world, to give of himself to the world, and that's enough. And to thank the Beira Olam, to thank God, thank you for that opportunity. I'm a contributor, and I'm respecting and recognizing the brilliant Metzias that I've had this opportunity to contribute. I've got my eyes open to contribute, and I live with deep, intimate gratitude that I don't take anything for granted. I'm thanking the Rabbanu Shalom. So Be'ezras Hashem, as we come to this closing of this book, may we live with deep level of contribution for the sake of contribution. May we live with a deep level of gratitude. And may we live fully recognizing everything is a gift from Hashem. May we serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu not for reward. May we serve Hashem for the sake of service, and remember everything is a sweet gift from Hashem. May we be like Yaakov, Vayechi, we can awaken and appreciate the deep good that we have always had, the deep good that we have, and as well the deep good we always will have.